Hello everyone. Here I am, Ahmed Hamanouri, and this is the second video in this channel. After the first video of how I passed the Kunskapsproof, so the medical recertification exam, I get many emails, comments, messages from Facebook and in different groups also. Uh, Thanks to all of those who congratulated me, and I hope that, and I'm grateful that this video has become a source of hope and of success to a lot of people. So really I try to answer the questions that I get personally, so I answered many of them, like but it's they are getting more and more, and I really don't have time now to answer all of them, and most of the questions just repeat themselves. And so I thought that it will be better that I make a presentation about some of the most common questions, answering them, so that people can just follow them, and when people ask the questions, uh, they can return back to them. So basically I get many emails, but I chose one email of a guy from Afghanistan. So I will be going through his questions, because the questions are just those that repeat every time. So the first question is that I'm a medical doctor from a governmental university. I have worked as a medical doctor with non-governmental organizations here. Can I apply for a Swedish medical residency program, or for working as a doctor in Sweden without specialty? So in the previous video also I put a link to a PDF documents where I have described the process of how to go through the legitimation process here as a doctor. And so again I will refer to there, but I think that I have to go through the website. So this is the website of the Socialstyrelsen, which is the Department of Health and Well-being here in Sweden. So it's a governmental and official organization. So, and this link you have in that previous document, you can go back to the first video to get it. And what I mean is that for every medical professionality, so for example, if here are all of the requirements. So if I choose the Doctor of Medicine group, so there are all of the steps are clarified here. So no matter which background you have, if you are from outside the EU, you have to go through the license period. So no matter how much or how many years do you have for experience, you have to go through this process. And the process basically is to learn language, and first you have to send your documents to the Socialstyrelsen first, before you go to study language or anything, because they have to check your university background and whether it is acceptable. I think that they are doing this on the list of UNESCO for universities. So just send your document by post, as I have said before, and the address is found here, and also in my previous file that you have. And so So if you have a specialty, so you have to first take these exams, learn the language, take the theoretical and the practical part of the exams, and then after 6 months of practical work, like in a hospital, you have to so they will determine how much more years should you study, or whether can you become a specialist again. Uh, so I hope that that's the answer to that question is clear. So just go back to that website and to that the pages related to you, and they have given the exam to a university, and you can search for you can they have the link for the university, or you can just search it. So I hope that I can deliver this message as clear as possible, because now in different parts of the world, especially in Iraq and Iran, where people are desperate, maybe also in Afghanistan, they are desperate from the economical situation, from the governmental corruptions. People just seek for a way to get out of the system, and sometimes they give enormous amount of monies to human traffickers. So they are doing the things legally, but they are doing it for amounts of monies that are unbelievable. Like for they to in order to help a person come to Sweden, they take about 15,000 euros or more than that, just with their works. And they don't tell the people these informations, so that they will be kept secret, because they tell the information in a way that make it somewhat very hard, that they say to people that you cannot do it by yourself. Even if you do it, it will be rejected. And so they told these stuff to me. And so just you have to believe in yourself, and you have to just um, forget about doing this with other people. So I will just clarify this a little bit more after the in the second and third questions. So the second question is, how much does it take to prepare for the Swedish licensing exam and to learn sufficient Swedish language, and how long does the entire process? This was another question that one guy has posted it in the YouTube channel. So the question is, how long does the entire process of getting licensed to practice in Sweden take? So the both questions are similar, and the answer is, it depends on you, it depends on your background. And so in the last video I said something about myself, and then like you have to decide for yourself. If I was now in outside Sweden and planning to come to Sweden, I would just study medicine there and review nearly everything that's needed with these guides that now you get from me, from others, so that when I come to Sweden, I will finish the whole process in 1 year. So hopefully I will finish it in 1 year, because now I'm preparing for the practical exam in February. But it has gone really tough for me, so I had to study for weeks, for months, and just sit home and just study in the weekends. And so it was really hard, and I don't want to just motivate some people just to blindly come to Sweden. Or you have to uh, you have to see and to read about different systems. So if you are now in Iran, in Afghanistan, I don't know, in Iraq, and you are thinking about coming outside, just sit down and read about every system, about Britain, about Canada, about USA, about Australia, about Germany, and also about Sweden also, and other Scandinavian countries. So there are enough materials out there But with Sweden, I think the process of getting into Sweden is easier than other countries. But the process of getting licensed is not easy. So the theoretical exam is really hard. But if you follow the tips that I have given you, and if you find a logical, a good plan that passes you best. So I hope that anyone with who has a fresh medical background, so who has finished the university in the last 4 years, can finish the whole process in 1 to 1.5 years. So as I said, you can start learning the language with a focus on understanding the language, and then after 6 months from learning the language, you can start to enter the first exam, to do the first trial of the exam. And there are also some other problems, like with the a residency permit here. Like if you are studying in a language course, it will be hard to renew your residence permit. And so there are other things to keep in mind, and I hope that I will go through these in other videos. Like I want to just concentrate on this question now. But so the point is that if you have a good plan, if you study for the exam, for the if, like for example, if you just go out and study USMLE books, it will help you here. If you study in any other medical book, it will help you here. And then when you come here, you have to study really intensively to pass it in 1 year. Otherwise, you need 2 year, or some people have did this process in more than that. So it depends totally on you and how do you work, and how do you study. But one other thing that I want to say is that so you can do these steps simultaneously. So as I said, you can learn the language in one side and then take the exam, study for the medical exam, and also study for, and then do the practical exam. So if you do it like this, and if you have a plan to do it like this, 1 year is really enough. Otherwise, you need 1.5 year or 2 years. So does it require work experience in hospitals? So after the first and second exam, you need to do a 6 months practic in a hospital here, and you have to find that job by yourself. And in some parts of Sweden, it's not so easy, but in other parts, like in the northern parts, it's easier to find a job. Really, it's a question for me now also, because I'm also trying to find a job, because my residence permit will finish in May this year. And the migration agency say that because I'm studying in a program other than a university, like it's in Folk University, and it's just a language course, they say that you cannot get your residence permit extended. Just you have to apply for a job and get a job. So that's why I am, and this was one of the motivations for me, because I have to finish everything in this year so that I can stay here and without spending so much money. Because when you come here with these programs, you cannot work here, and you have to support yourself economically. So you have to have your money in bank for you, so that you can support yourself. So it is a challenge, because both economically, and then from the point of extending the residence permit. But otherwise, you don't need to have other work experience in hospitals, like in your country or in any other place. And another question is, how much is the first payment or salary as a resident for junior doctors. So this question is really a tough question to answer, because the payment system here, it depends on the special hospitals and on special regions. So but generally, as a general idea, there is a website. I don't know personally, because I don't work now, and I don't have time now to research about this. Otherwise, if I have time in the future, I will be asking other people who are now working in the health system here. And but before, so there's a website which is called Lone Statistics. So it's the statistics for salaries in Sweden, and I looked at it, and here you can see like the average salary for different. So the ST-läkare is like a senior residence doctor in other systems, like a doctor that has started to do specialization. So basically, after you finish with the exams and the practical period of here in Sweden, you will be an ST. You can apply. You will be legitimated, and you can apply to be an ST-läkare. And so as an ST-läkare, so people get like an average average salary of these, and these are obviously before the tax. So after the tax, about 30% of these will be cut off, and these are the years of being a doctor here. So like if you are the first year, one person from Jämtland gets this amount, and just you can have an idea now. Otherwise, so this is just to have a general idea, and there are other websites that have dealt with this question, even in Quora, in Sweden.se, or every other website in the. So you can just search for them. And the fifth question: are there other challenges in specific residency programs, like I want to take surgery, or for the specific countries, like I am from Afghanistan? And this was also a similar question in the YouTube channel: what are the chances for non-EU doctors and Africans getting choice residency spots after licensing? So basically, after you get licensed, so so it shouldn't depend on whether you are from Afghanistan, you are from Africa. All should be equal. And if there are special situations of discrimination, I don't know, but normally, so what decides is your legitimation, and after that, when you get your first job, is your competency, and so it's your qualifications that should determine. But for special branches, so definitely some branches are harder to get, because everyone is going to it, and some places of Sweden are harder to work in it, like the southern parts, because of the climate conditions, is harder to get job in it, but the other parts of Sweden are easier, like the northern parts. But otherwise, after you get your licenses, getting a job is generally not so hard. So and there are websites that always loaded with free jobs. And I just answer these questions according to my current experience. So my quest is to help others, especially doctors from lands like, as I said, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Middle East, Africa, even people contacting from India. So these people are, as I said, there are many people like my friends and even others that I feel that they are desperate to get and to get to a new uh, level of hope, to get into a new system, to find themselves, to become successful. And I know that there are many people there out there that are just trying to deceive us poor students and to get just the monies from the students that have, or from the doctors that they have earned by working very hard. And my message is that please, 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 just be open your eyes. And if you have any question, you can ask me. I will try to answer you. And more importantly, you can ask the special, the official organizations. So if you have a question about residency program, you can ask the migration agency. Time after time, I did it. I have asked the migration agency more than 30 mails I have sent it to them. You can ask the social service and you can ask other authorities, and don't trust anyone that just says big words and just says that are just saying that we will do this for you in Sweden and this for you and this for you, and they are doing nothing. They are just sending you out here without any clarification. I have seen people come here and they have given enormous amount of monies and they don't know what they should do here in order to pass the exam, in order to get into the system. So I hope that we all of us have a brighter future, and I hope that this video can help someone. And if you still have questions, or if there are any thing that is not clear, you can ask me, but I will apologize that I will not be able to answer every email and every question directly. I hope I can make other videos with the most common questions, and I hope you will all do good, and thank you.